Hello everybody, welcome back to Simulated Heaven, and I have an announcement. I am going to boycott all Milestone games. Yes I am. I am really sick of this development company. I didn't even realise that they're from Italy eventually, but that has nothing to do with it. I thought most of their, for example, the rally game, World Rally Championship, when they did those games, I thought the development studio was in France, from what I can remember. Anyway, I'm going to boycott all Milestone games from this point onwards, and this is why. It's kind of sad, but every single Milestone game that I've ever played suffers from the exact same issues. I have played World Rally. I think I started the World Rally Championship at number 2, not 1. So I did 2, 3, 4. I know that I said in a previous video I wasn't going to get 4, but I found it on offer. It was very cheap, and I was kind of curious to see if they had improved the force feedback. And guess what, guys? They hadn't at all. They had not. It was equally as bad. You know, really bad. And that is after a patch where they supposedly improved the support for force feedback. I mean, this is a racing game. This is a racing game. Unless they just expect the only people who play it are going to be using a controller, you know, maybe they just have completely discarded anyone vaguely hardcore who's using a steering wheel. Because the steering wheel support is absolutely terrible, and the pedal support is absolutely terrible. It was the same in the last game, World Rally 3, whatever it was called. The same. I did a video about that, saying I wasn't going to buy the fourth one because of the fact that the force feedback was so bad, the controller support was so bad, and in 4 it's exactly the same. For example, when you set up your wheel, and when you set up the pedals, the wheel itself, you have to struggle a bit. I mean, I have a Thrustmaster T500 RS, but you have to struggle a bit to get the force feedback even working. And I searched around various forums and the Steam forums and things like that, and I found what the best settings were for my Thrustmaster T500 RS. And guess what? It still was completely rubbish. For 2014, I mean, okay, this game was released in 2013, but they had a patch, one patch this year in January. So for 2014, for a racing game, the fact that you can only feel basic force feedback. So it's like the steering wheel will go strong, and you can feel the steering wheel go strong, and then around the corner be stronger, and then so it's very, very basic. There's no road feel at all. For a rally game, there's no road feel. You cannot feel the wheels at all on the surface. Now, I am not expecting them, maybe, like, they probably can't really come up with an amazing thing like an R Factor 2 or a game stock car or a Assetto Corsa. Actually, a Assetto Corsa is not a prime example at the moment, but they're not going to be able to come up with maybe those amazing force feedback. But I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for, in a rally game, when I'm driving along, I need some feedback of the road through my steering wheel. But it almost feels like so old school, like a blank force feedback, and it's really sad. And we were saying the same thing in the last game. We said the same thing, or there were people saying the same thing when this game, World Rally 4, released. And they've done one patch where they said they've improved the force feedback, and it's still exactly the same. And then not only that, I have a set of Fanatec Club Sport version 2s, right? That is the pedals that I use, or they are the pedals that I use, and seriously, it's so bad. So after you have set them up, when you press the accelerator, there's a dead zone, a crazy big dead zone, and there's probably a way for you to search on the forums, tinker with various things, and maybe improve that. I'm pretty sure they had the same thing in World Rally 3, and I seem to remember there was a way that you can actually get around it. And it's exactly the same in World Rally 4. You press your accelerator almost halfway and nothing happens. And then it's only the last half where it works. So there's no real feeling on the accelerator, which again is really important. And not only all of these things, and I'm obviously talking about World Rally right now, but it's very, very similar with all of their games. They very rarely do a patch. They'll have a game out and they'll do one patch, maybe two if you're really lucky. So World Rally 4 has been out since I think October of last year. They only had one patch in January, and that's with all the issues that we've had. If you were to go onto their World Rally 4 Steam forum, you go onto their Facebook page, whatever, you'll see loads of people who are complaining, saying this doesn't work, this doesn't work, and they've done one patch. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's it now, no more patches. I would say that the best Milestone game that I've ever played is probably MotoGP 13, sorry. And it was alright. It was a pretty okay attempt at a racing game. The features were pretty good, wasn't very buggy. So that one, you know, I'll give it to them. And I think because you don't use a steering wheel in that game, I think that obviously helped them a lot, because they seem incapable of doing anything for a steering wheel in one of their games. And I have no idea why. I also played their game, which was a top-down rally game. WRC, what was it called? WRC Drift or WRC something. I will put a link in the description for all of the Milestone games I've played. How about that? That was also a game which was all, you know, fairly okay, pretty alright. It worked pretty well out of the box. It was kind of fun. I did almost finish that game. However, both of those games also were only patched a little bit, and they always, in all of their games, they use the same online server like system. I think it's called something like Raznet or something. Whatever it is, they use the same one in every game, or certainly every game of theirs I've ever played. And there's always the same issue. It works for a while and then it won't work, and then it will work and then it won't work, and it will say the username is invalid or blah de blah. It's so unreliable, and yet they still keep using this for every game that they bring out, you know. And then the last thing I will say is they just don't seem to move on their games. Like the World Rally, because that's obviously where I have the most experience, they never really evolve that much. They just add a few minor changes each year. I mean, if you were to look at World Rally 3 and World Rally 4, they look pretty much exactly the same. They feel pretty much exactly the same, you know. There's not much of a difference. And loads of issues from the third game are in the fourth game. So they just really don't seem to put an effort into the development of their games, in my opinion. All of this is my opinion, and if you have a different opinion, I would love to know what your opinion is. But I just had to do this video because I am kind of getting annoyed. I recently tried World Rally 4, like I said. I found it on offer, and I had all these same issues that I had with the last game, and I was just like, really Milestone? You're really going to do the exact same stuff again that you've done in the previous game, that you're really not going to learn? And in the end, you know, it's going to bite them. In the end, they're going to, you know, have serious issues selling their games, because in the end, most people are going to work out. The only way this won't happen is if they get most of the sales from the console market, where most of the people are not using steering wheels. And maybe if they were to, you know, but I mean, I'm pretty sure, for example, with MXGP, I'm pretty sure there were quite a lot of issues on the console that people wanted fixed. There were features that people wanted in it. You know, it was the same as on the PC, but I'm pretty sure, again, with that game, they haven't updated it hardly at all. You know, they seem incapable of updating their game more than like once every half a year, which I really don't understand. So, yeah, I'm kind of frustrated. And I was going to actually try and have the gameplay footage from World Rally 4, but all of the recording software that I used was not working. It wouldn't work, the game would crash, and I was like, oh, screw this. So I just made this video with their website. So I apologise, there's no actual game footage in the background. I did try, but I'm done. Milestone, I'm done. You're not going to get any more money from me, and that will be it. No more coverage of any of your games, because you kind of annoy me. You underdevelop your games, you use the same crappy online, you don't seem to learn about anything. And this is actually a studio that has quite a big group of people. I mean, if you look at Assetto Corsa, I think they have 5 employees who work in their office, and okay, they do outsource a few other people, blah de blah, but you look at these people here, Milestone, they have a pretty big, you know, if you were to compare, they have a pretty big group of people here, and yet they just have the same issues. Like, is it a management issue? Is it the fact that the management have a policy of just earning as much as they can out of each of the games, each of the licenses, and they just hope that they can somehow get by with these underdeveloped games? Like I said, maybe they've decided that they're going to completely like not care about the PC, like slightly hardcore market where people are using steering wheels. Maybe they've decided we're going to sell all our games on the console and that's it. I don't know. I would love to know your opinion on this. Thank you for watching this video. It's kind of a rant video. I seem to be ranting quite a lot recently. I don't know why this is. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.